Good morning everyone. Welcome to the online CET, NEET and JEE classes. Students, in previous videos we already discussed some multiple choice questions on the chapter P block elements. In this video I am going to solve some more important applied multiple choice questions on the same topic, P block elements. So let's move with the questions. This question number 15. Carefully observe the question with given options. Aluminium hydroxide is soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide forming the ion. Yes, what is the question? Aluminium hydroxide is soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide forming the ion. Option A, AlO2 3 plus. Option B, AlO2 3 minus. Option C, AlO2 minus, and option D, AlO3 minus. Students, aluminium hydroxide reacts with excess of NaOH. Yes, remember, aluminium hydroxide, when it reacts with excess of NaOH, at the time it forms AlO2 minus ion. Yes, here I write the equation or reaction. See this one. Here I write AlOH3 means aluminium hydroxide. When it is react with sodium hydroxide, then it forms NaAlO2, one of the product, NaAlO2, one of the product. This is called as sodium meta-aluminate. Sodium meta-aluminate. It is one of the product, and along with there is a water molecule. So NaAlO2, this is called sodium aluminate. It forms AlO2. AlO2 means aluminate. It forms aluminate. Therefore, the right answer for this question is AlO2 minus. AlO2 minus. Therefore, option C is the right answer. Yes, next question number 17. Observe the question carefully. Which of the following does not exist in free fall? Among the given options, which of the following does not exist in free fall or free state? Option A, BF3. Option B, BCl3. Option C, BBr3. Option D, BH3. Some of the halides and one of the hydride is given of boron. Among these, which one is not exist in free state? Yes, it is one of the theoretical question. Remember, boron, it forms different hydrides. Boron, it forms different hydrides of general formula BnHn plus 4. BnHn plus 4 and BnHn plus 6. Remember, boron, it forms different hydrides having general formula BnHn plus 4 and BnHn plus 6. But when we observe the hydrides of boron in that option D, that is BH3, it is a known because it is not applicable to the given formulas. Therefore, BH3, it is not exist in free form. Remember, hydride of boron does not exist in BH3 form. It is stable as its dimer, that is diborane. B2H6 is known, but this BH3 is unknown. Therefore, option D is the right answer for this question. Other options like BF3, BCl3, BBr3, they are possible. Therefore, BH3, that is not exist in free state. Next, question number 19. Anhydrous AlCl3 cannot be obtained from which of the following reaction? Anhydrous AlCl3, it cannot be obtained from which of the following reaction? As in the options, they given different type of reaction. Among those reactions, anhydrous AlCl3 is not obtained. What is that reaction? They given options like heating AlCl3 6H2O. Option B, by passing dry HCl over hot aluminium powder. Option C, by passing dry Cl2 over hot aluminium powder. Option D, by passing dry chlorine over a hot mixture of alumina and coke. Yes, by writing the reactions which are given in the options, it is very easy to answer the question. So first I want to write the reactions. See here, students, when we observe the given points, in that first I take aluminium. Aluminium, when it is react with hydrochloric acid in presence of air, it forms AlCl3 along with hydrogen. Next, another one. Yes, when it is react with chlorine, then only it is also form AlCl3. And another one, I take Al2O3, aluminium oxide. When it is react with the carbon as well as chlorine, then also it forms AlCl3 plus carbon monoxide. As after that, this AlCl3, it undergo vaporization or cooling, it forms anhydrous AlCl3. Anhydrous AlCl3. But option A, what is that? AlCl3 6H2O. When it is heated, it forms aluminium hydroxide along with HCl and H2O. Yes, these are the reactions. In this reaction, the product formation is aluminium hydroxide but not aluminium chloride. But in other reaction, the product side, there is a formation of aluminium chloride. So, in option A, heating AlCl3 6H2O, it cannot form AlCl3, means aluminium chloride in the product side. Therefore, right answer for this question is option A. Next, question number 21. Aluminium has a great affinity for oxygen and its oxidation is an exothermic process. Aluminium, it has a great affinity for oxygen and its oxidation is an exothermic process. This fact is used in option A, preparing thin foils of aluminium, option B, making utensils, option C, preparing duralium alloy, and option D, thermite welding. Yes, it is also one of the theoretical question. Students, thermite welding, among the given options, thermite welding is based on the fact that aluminium has great affinity for oxygen and its oxidation is an exothermic process. Remember the point. Thermite welding, it is based on the fact that aluminium has great affinity for oxygen and its oxidation is one of the exothermic process. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option D. Thermite welding is the right one. Next, question number 22. The correct statement or statements for orthoboric acid is, among the given options, which one is the correct statement for orthoboric acid? Yes, what are the given statements? First, we see what are the given statements. Option A, it behaves as a weak acid in water due to self-ionization. Option B, acidity of its aqueous solution increases upon addition of ethylene glycol. Option C, it has a dimensional structure due to hydrogen bonding. Option D, it is a strong electrolyte in water. Yes, which one given statement is correct for orthoboric acid? When we observe the given options, in that boric acid means H3BO3, it does not undergo self-ionization. Remember, H3BO3, it does not undergo self-ionization. However, it acts as a weak acid in water. H3BO3, it acts as a weak acid in water. How you prove this? See this reaction. I write boric acid H3BO3. When it is react with the water, then its form B of OH4 minus plus of H plus. Students, addition of cis diols, addition of cis form of diols, example, if you take ethylene glycol, addition of cis diol like ethylene glycol to aqueous solution of orthoboric acid, addition of ethylene glycol to orthoboric acid leads to the complex formation. Thus, acidity of aqueous solution of orthoboric acid is increases. Yes, observe this reaction. I take B of OH4 minus plus I add 2 moles of ethylene glycol here. You know the structure of ethylene glycol. It is like this, CH2OH, CH2OH. During this, a complex formation like this one is formed, CH2O. I write here B means boron, and I write another 2 CH2 groups. Yes, this is the complex formation. Along with complex formation, there will be a formation of water molecule. It arranges to planar sheets due to hydrogen bonding. Yes. If you know this point, the right answer for the given question is option B. It is one of the correct statement for orthoboric acid. What is the point? Acidity of its aqueous solution increases upon addition of ethylene glycol. This is the correct statement for orthoboric acid. Option B is the right answer. Next, questions related to the carbon family. In that, question number 23. In the carbon family, the elements other than carbon do not form p5p5 bonds because the atomic orbitals are, is one of the theoretical question. In the carbon family, the elements other than carbon do not form p5p5 bonds because the atomic orbitals are. Option A, small and diffuse to undergo effective lateral overlap. Option B, large and diffuse to undergo effective lateral overlap. Option C, large and far too less diffuse to overlap linearly. Option D, small to overlap both laterally and linearly. Yes, which one is the point? Is right answer for this question. Students, when we observe the given options, in that option B, large and diffuse to undergo effective lateral overlap, is main responsible for not formation of p5p5 bonds in presence of carbon family other than carbon. It do not form p5p5 bonds. Therefore, right answer for the given question is option B. Next, question number 25. The correct order of increasing carbon-oxygen bond length of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and carbonate ion is. Observe the question carefully. The correct order of increasing carbon-oxygen bond length of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and carbonate ion is. Observe the given options also. Order of CO, CO2 and CO3 2-. Students, I think you already know the structure of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and carbonate ion. So here also I write the structures. First I write carbon monoxide, next carbon dioxide and carbonate ion. It appears like this. O minus and here also O minus, and I write the resonance structures O minus and here O minus and double bond O, and another one structure, that is C, single bond O minus double bond O. Yes, if you want to know the values of bond order, here I make one column. First I write compound and here I write bond order. So if I take an example, carbon monoxide, here bond order is 3, and here I take CO2, here bond order is 2, and in presence of carbonate ion, the bond order is 1.33. Students, remember bond order It is inversely proportional to bond length. It is inversely proportional to bond length. Hence, decreasing order of carbon and oxygen bond length is, it is in the order carbon monoxide less than carbon dioxide and less than carbonate ion. This is the correct order S, where it is given. Carbon monoxide less than CO2 less than CO3 2 minus. Yes, option D. It is the right answer. Option D is the right answer. Next, question number 27. Which of the following statement is not correct? Which of the following statement is not correct among the given options? Option A, lead salts are slow poisons. Option B, lead metal is used in accumulators. Option C, plumbosovalency increases by the presence of carbonates, sulfates, phosphates, etc. Option D, lead is a soft metal. Among the given options, which one is not correct statement? Once again, you observe the given options and think clearly. Students, lead salts are slow poisons. Remember, lead salts are slow poisons and are heavy toxic. Lead is used as a accumulator and lead is one of the soft metal due to its low melting point. Due to its low melting point, it is one of the soft metal. Plumbosovalency is the dissolution of lead in water. Plumbosovalency is the dissolution of lead in water. When carbonates, sulfates, phosphates, etc. are added, the precipitate of lead salt is formed. Remember, when these type of reagents are added, lead salts are formed, which form a protective layer which is insoluble. Thus, plumbosovalency decreases by the presence of carbonate, sulfates, etc. Therefore, option C is not correct statement, because they given increases but usually it decreases. So option C is not correct statement, but our right answer is option C. Plumbosovalency increases by the presence of carbonate, sulfates, phosphates, etc. Next, question number 31. Lead solution may be titrated with standard EDTA at pH equal to 6 using which indicator? Yes, definitely lead solution may be titrated with standard EDTA at pH value 6 using which indicator? They given in the options different type of indicators. Option A, methyl thymol blue, erychrome black tea in the B option, and C option is methyl orange, and option D is eosine. Students, you know what is titration? It is a technique which is used to know the known concentration of the solution, and here they given pH. They given pH, that is 6, and they want to know the indicator. In presence of indicator, pH range Indicator decide the pH range, and in presence of pH range we know by the color change of the complex. Color change of the complex. Among the given options, option A, they given indicator methyl thymol blue. It is one of the proper indicator. It is one of the proper indicator for the complex formation in presence of EDTA and lead solution. Therefore, methyl thymol blue indicator is used during the titration of lead solution and EDTA. Next question number 33. Which of the following reaction does not takes place? Which of the following reaction does not takes place? Here they given different type of reactions. First you observe all the given options with respect to reactions and select which one is not possible. Let's observe the given points. Students, when we observe the option A, here SN2 plus is changes to SN4 plus. As in the option A, SN plus 2, SN2 plus 2 act as a reducing agent. Reducing agent. In option A, SN2 plus act as a reducing agent. In option A. In option B, SN2 plus act as a reducing agent. When we observe the reaction A and B, both are redox reactions and they are feasible redox reactions. And if you observe the another product, Fe plus 3 changes to Fe plus 2, it shows the formation of redox reaction. But when we observe the option, means reaction C, here Sn plus 2, here Sn2 plus 2 get changes to Sn. Here plus 2 oxidation state changes to 0 oxidation state. Yes. Therefore, here it acts as a oxidizing agent. Sn act as a reducing agent. Sorry. Oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. In that reaction, Fe2 plus get changes to Fe plus 3. In reaction Sn2 plus, it is one of the reducing agent and it changes Sn2 plus 2 to Sn. Therefore, it does not feasible. Yes, when you observe the option D, here also Sn2 plus it acts as a reducing agent and it changes Hg plus to Hg and Sn2 plus to Sn4 plus. It is also an example for redox reaction. It is also an example for redox reaction. Therefore, this reaction means option C reaction is not possible. Means it is not takes place. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option C. Option C is the right answer. Next question number 35. Which of the following is sparingly soluble in cold water and fairly soluble in hot water? Option A, PbNO3 twice. Option B, PbCl2. Option C, PbSO4. Option D, PbCrO4. Lead chromate, lead sulfate, lead chloride, lead nitrate. Among the given options, which one of the following is sparingly soluble in cold water and fairly soluble in hot water? Students, among the given options, lead nitrate, remember PbNO3 twice, is sparingly soluble in cold water and barely soluble in hot water. It is one of the experimental observation. Therefore, directly I write the right answer for the given question, that is option A, lead nitrate. It is sparingly soluble in cold water and fairly soluble in hot water. Next, question number 38. The gas evolved on heating calcium fluoride, means CaF2, and SiO2 with concentrated H2SO4. As reaction is very important here. The gas evolved on heating CaF2 and SiO2 with concentrated H2SO4 on hydrolysis gives a white gelatinous precipitate. That precipitate is option A, hydrofluorosilicic acid, option B, silica gel, option C, silicic acid, option D, calcium fluorosilicate. Student, when we write the reactions, then it is very easy to know the answer for this question. Therefore, first I write the required reactions according to the given question. First I take CaF2. When it is reacted with H2SO4, it forms CaHSO4 twice along with H2F2. Next, that H2F2, it is reacted with another reactant SiO2, it forms SiF4 plus 2H2O. Then this silicon tetrafluoride, again treated with water, it forms H2SiF6. This H2SiF6 is hydrofluorosilicic acid. Silicic acid. This is your answer, hydrofluorosilicic acid. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option A. Option A, hydrofluorosilicic acid is the right answer. Next, question number 40. In silicon dioxide, yes, the question is related to silicon dioxide. Observe the given options. In silicon dioxide, option A, there are double bonds between silicon and oxygen atoms. Option B, silicon atoms is bounded to two oxygen atoms. Option C, each silicon atom is surrounded by two oxygen atoms and each oxygen atom is bounded to two silicon atoms. Option D, each silicon atom is surrounded by four oxygen atoms and each oxygen atom is bounded to two silicon atoms. Which one is the right point related to silicon dioxide? Students, when we read the given options, the structure of SiO2 is as I think you know the structure of SiO2. Here also I write SiO and this one is bounded with oxygen and I write another silicon here S, and this one oxygen is again combined with oxygen and this one is silicon with O, and here I write Si. Yes, this is the simple structure of SiO2. Here each silicon atom is surrounded by how many oxygen atom? Each silicon is surrounded by 1, 2, 3 and 4 oxygen atoms, and each oxygen atom is bounded to 2 silicon atom. As if you observe this one, this oxygen, here one silicon, here one silicon, means each oxygen atom is bounded with 2 silicon atoms. Therefore, which one is the right answer? Option D. Option D. Each silicon atom is surrounded by 4 oxygen atom, and each oxygen atom is bounded with 2 silicon atoms. Next, question number 41. Graphite is a soft solid lubricant, extremely difficult to melt. The reason for this anomalous behavior is that graphite is a soft solid lubricant, extremely difficult to melt. The reason for this anomalous behavior is that graphite, option A, is an allotropic form of diamond. Option B has molecules of variable molecular masses like polymers. Option C has carbon atoms arranged in large plates of rings of strongly bound carbon atoms with weak interplate bonds. Option D is a non-crystalline substance. Yes, what is the right answer? Students, in graphite, carbon is sp2 hybridized. In graphite, carbon is sp2 hybridized. Each carbon, it is linked to 3 other carbon atoms, forming hexagonal rings. Remember this point. In graphite, carbon is sp2 hybridized. Each carbon is linked to 3 other carbon atoms, forming hexagonal rings. Since only 3 electrons of each carbon are used in making hexagonal ring, and 4th electron of each carbon is free to move. This makes graphite a good conductor of heat and electricity. Graphite has 2-dimensional sheet structure. Graphite, it has 2-dimensional sheet-like structure. These various sheets are held together by weak van der Waals force of attraction. Due to these weak forces attraction, only layer can slip over the other. This makes graphite soft and a good lubricating agent. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option C. Graphite has carbon atoms arranged in a large plate of rings, strongly bound carbon atoms with a weak interplate bonds. Option C. Option C is the right answer. Next, question number 43. On addition of excess of sodium hydroxide solution to stannous chloride solution, we obtain. On addition of excess of sodium hydroxide solution to stannous chloride solution, we obtain. Option A, stannous hydroxide. Option B, SnO2 H2O. Option C, Na2SnO2. And option D, none of this. Which one is the right answer? Students, When we observe the given question, the reaction is very important. First I write the reaction here. You also observe this. According to the question, I write the reaction. Stannous chloride SnCl2, when it is react with sodium hydroxide, it forms stannous hydroxide and NaCl. And also I write another reaction, stannous hydroxide, when it again treated with sodium hydroxide, it forms Na2SnO2 plus 2H2O. Yes, if you write this reaction, the right answer for this question is Na2SnO2, because it is formed in the product side. That is the right answer. As which one is right answer for 43rd question? Option C is right answer. Next, question number 46. Color is imparted to glass by mixing. Color is imparted to glass by mixing. Option A, synthetic dyes. Option B, metal oxides. Option C, oxides of non-metals. Option D, colored salts. Which one is the right answer? Students, color property. You know the theoretical point related to this question first. So, see my point. Metal oxides or some salts are fused with glass to impart the color. Students, color is imparted to glass by adding metal oxide like iron oxide in both oxidation states, that is +2 and +3. Iron oxide, example FeO, in the form of ferrous iron will give a bluish green tint to the glasses. Whereas in the higher state of oxidation as ferric ion, it gives a yellowish green tint which can be marked by the addition of complementary colors such as red and blue. To ensure that most of any iron impurity is in its ferric salt or ferric state, oxidizing agents such as sodium nitrate are added to patch in small amounts. Therefore, the right answer for the given question is option B, metal oxides. Option B is the right answer. Next, question number 48. SiF4 gets hydrolyzed giving option A SiO2, option B SiOH2F2, option C H2SiF6, option D SiOH4. Students, SiF4 is hydrolyzed with water to form a hydroxide. SiF4 is hydrolyzed with water and forms SiOH4 hydroxide form. So I write the reaction here. SiF4, when it is react with H2O, then it forms SiOH4, means hydroxide form along with hydrogen chloride. Therefore, is the answer option D is right answer. SiF4, when it hydrolyzes, it forms its hydroxide. Next, question number 50. On controlled hydrolysis and condensation of R3SiCl yields on controlled hydrolysis and condensation R3SiCl yields. Observe the given options clearly. When you write the reaction, the product form will be your answer. Students, R3SiCl on hydrolysis forms only a dimer. See this one, R3SiCl, sorry, R3SiOH. When it is react with OH SiR3, then we get the product like R3Si single bond O and SiR3. This is your product and this is your answer. Hence, which one is the right answer? Option A. They given option A, that is right one. Next, question number 42. Here I select some important questions from your applied multiple choice question part. 42 question is, the straight chain polymer is formed by. The straight chain polymer is formed by option A, hydrolysis of CS3 SiCl3 followed by condensation polymerization, and another second option is by addition polymerization followed by condensation polymerization, and option D followed by condensation polymerization of hydrolysis of CS3 twice SiCl. Carefully observe the given options. As students, hydrolysis of substituted chlorosilanes, hydrolysis of substituted chlorosilanes yield corresponding silanols which undergo polymerization. As see here, I write the reaction CS3, I write here Si means silicon, and here CS3, and here ClHOH I write here, and here ClHOH, here ClHOH. I take this HCl part and this HCl part, means 2 HCl is removed here, and then the remaining part is CS3 Si, this CS3, and I write only OH and OH here. So it is dimethyl silanol. This is one of the dimethyl silanol. Yes, polymerization of dimethyl silanol is linear thermoplastic polymer. Yes, this one is linear thermoplastic polymer. Yes, here I write the equation. Here silicon bonded with CS3 and CS3. Here I write OH and here another OH. When it is combined with another one SiOH, here I write CS3 and here one CS3 and one OH. Right? Yes, this OH and only this H combined to eliminate water, then the remaining part is, I write here OH, this Si, this CS3 and this CS3, O, and another part, that is CS3, OH here and CS3. Yes, this is the product. Therefore, which one is the right answer? This option C. Next, question number 39. Identify the correct statement. Identify the correct statement among the given options. Option A, in SiO3 O9 6 minus tetrahedral SiO4 units share 2 oxygen atom. Option B, SiCl4 sorry, option B, trialkyl chlorosilane on hydrolysis gives R3SiOH, and option C, SiCl4 undergoes hydrolysis to give H4SiO4, and option D, Si3O96- has cyclic structure. Students, the hydrolysis of trialkyl chlorosilane, that is R3SiCl, it yields dimer. Of R, I write the dimer here, RSiR, here R3, I write R3SiO, and another part, this is like this, R. Yes, therefore option B is right answer. Option B is the right answer. Next, question number 44. Which of the following is not correct related to germanium? Options are given here related to the points to the germanium. Yes, option A, hydroxide is amphoteric. Germanium hydroxide is amphoteric. Germanium chloride is more stable than GeCl4, germanium tetrachloride. GeO2 is weakly acidic. Option D, GeCl4 in HCl form GeCl2 2- means ionic form. Students, remember, it is one of the easiest question. GeCl2 is more stable. Sorry, GeCl4. GeCl4 is more stable than GeCl2. As we know, Ge has means germanium, it has greater tendency to form +4 state than +2 state. Yes, which one is the right answer? Option B. Option B, GeCl2 is more stable than GeCl4. Yes, germanium chloride, GeCl2 is more stable than GeCl4. Next, question number 28. C60 can be regarded as a Hughes ball made up of, option A, several conjugated alkene units rather than an aromatic molecule. Option B, graphite units. Option C, several aromatic benzene molecules. Option D, several tetrahedrons. Students, the given question is related to fullerenes. In C60 fullerene, the delocalization of electrons in poor. In C60 fullerene, the delocalization of electron is poor. It can be regarded as a Hughes ball made up of several conjugated alkene units rather than an aromatic molecule. Remember, C60 is a type of fullerene. It has gauge-like fused ring structures. It resembles a saucer ball structure made up of 20 hexagonal and 12 pentagons. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option A. Option A is the right answer. Next, question number 30. The straight chain polymer is formed by. The straight chain polymer is formed by among the given options. A, hydrolysis of CS3 SiCl3 followed by condensation polymerization. Hydrolysis of CS3 4Si followed by addition polymerization. Another one, condensation polymerization. And option D, hydrolysis of CS3 twice SiCl followed by condensation polymerization. Students, straight chain polymer is formed by hydrolysis of CS3 twice SiCl2. Straight chain polymer is formed by CS3 twice SiCl2 followed by condensation polymerization. Straight chain polymers are also called as linear polymers. See here, I take NCl, means n number of this one, in presence of OH minus ion, it forms NOH, SiOH. Here I write another CS3 term, then we get a linkage like silicon. Here I write CS3 and oxygen, and here one CS3. Therefore, this is the structure of polymerized term. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option C. Option C is the right answer. Next question number 24. A when added to silica gives B. A and B are, as one of the component A, it is added to silica, it gives the product B. A and B are. Students, remember this reaction. First, I write 4 moles of hydrogen chloride. When it is react with SiO2, then only it forms H2SiF4 along with the formation of water. Therefore, this one is A, means hydrogen chloride, and fluorosilicic acid. Fluorosilicic acid. Silicic acid is the B product. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option B. Remember the reaction. Next question number 18. An aqueous solution of borax is. An aqueous solution of borax is option A neutral, option B acidic, option C basic, option D amphoteric. Students, the solution of borax is alkaline in nature. Solution of borax is usually alkaline in nature. This is due to its hydrolysis process. See here, if I take Na2B4O7 borax, when it is reacted with water, it forms a alkali NaOH and one of the weak acid, that is H3BO3. Sorry, here 4 moles. Yes, remember it is one of the strong alkali and it is one of the weak acid. Therefore, when borax is dissolved in water, it ionizes and hydrolysis of borate ion gives OH minus and boric acid. Since boric acid is a weak acid and NaOH is one of the strong alkali, and aqueous solution of borax is always alkaline in nature. Therefore, basic is the right answer, option C. Next question number 20. Aluminium vessels should not be washed with materials containing washing soda, since aluminium vessels should not be washed with materials containing washing soda, since washing soda is expensive, washing soda is easily decomposed, washing soda reacts with aluminium to form sodium aluminate, soluble ammonia aluminate. Washing soda reacts with aluminium to form insoluble aluminium oxide. Yes, first I write the reaction according to the question. A sodium carbonate Na2CO3, when it undergo hydrolysis, means react with water, it forms 2 NaOH and CO2. Yes, again, if aluminium is reacted with NaOH and water, it forms aluminate. Na means sodium aluminate with liberation of hydrogen gas. This is sodium meta-aluminate. Sodium meta-aluminate. Meta-aluminate. Students, washing soda, it reacts with aluminium to form soluble aluminate. Under normal circumstance, aluminium does not react with water as an impermeable protective layer. It is composed of aluminium hydroxide, either forms within seconds or already in a place. With the addition of sodium hydroxide, the formation of protective layer is prevented with the production of aluminate, AlOH4-. The amphoteric means substance act as both acid and base. Aluminium hydroxide goes in solution. Therefore, the right answer for this question is option C. Next, question number 5. The dissolution of aluminium hydroxide by a solution of sodium hydroxide results in the formation of. Students, aluminium hydroxide dissolve in sodium hydroxide solution to give a aluminium hydroxide ion, which is supposed to have a octahedral complex species like AlOH4 H2O2 minus. In aqueous solution, see this reaction. What is the reaction? This aluminium hydroxide, when it is reacted with NaOH, it forms the complex like aluminium hydroxide and H2O2 of minus, and along with Na plus ion. Yes, therefore the right answer for this question is option C. Next, another question. Question number 10. Which of the following is true? Minute quantities of boron are used in hardening of steel. Boron is also a trace element used in plants and serves as a significant nutrient factor. Option C. Boron occupies the top rank of all elements as neutron absorber. And option D. All of above are true. Yes, students, when we observe clearly the given options, all the given statements are true. Therefore, all the of above are true. That is the right answer. Option D is the right answer. Okay, thanks for watching. For more videos, subscribe my YouTube channel, and in the next video we will discuss with new chapter. Thank you.